Ever since I was a kid, I saw my parents as my biggest supporters. Whether it was a dance recital, an art exhibit, or any small achievement, they were always there, cheering the loudest. Or at least that's what I believed. But as I got older, I started noticing the pattern. When it came to me and my brother Matt, things were never fair. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Matt could do no wrong. If he got a promotion, it was a full-blown celebration. If I accomplished something, like publishing an article, it was met with a half-hearted, "That's nice, sweetie." When he bought a grill, it was a big deal. When I bought my first car, it barely got a mention. For years, I convinced myself it didn't matter. That love isn't always shown the same way. But some hurts, if ignored for too long, eventually demand to be felt. Then I got engaged to Luke, and for the first time I let myself hope things might be different. Luke was amazing, kind, successful, and he made me feel like I was everything to him. First, my parents seemed happy for us. We had an awkward but warm dinner where they asked about wedding plans and even suggested venues. I held on to that hope, brushing off the little signs. My mom forgetting the date, my dad grumbling about travel costs even though the wedding was just 2 hours away. I told myself they'd come through. They had to, right? 3 months before the wedding, at a casual family get-together, Matt announced he was throwing a huge barbecue on the same weekend. "It's gonna be legendary," he said, grinning. "Food trucks, games, the whole neighborhood's invited." I forced a laugh, waiting for someone to remind him about my wedding. No one did. 2 weeks before the big day, reality hit me like a slap. I called my mom to confirm final details. Seating arrangements when they'd arrive. That's when she dropped the bomb. "Honey, we can't make it." "What?" My voice barely came out. "Well," she said like it was the most obvious thing. "Matt's barbecue is that weekend, remember? He's counting on us to help set up." She said it so casually, as if my wedding was just some minor conflict they could skip. I sat there, phone in hand, stunned. I waited for her to backtrack, to say it was a joke, to promise they'd be there. But the silence just stretched on, heavy and final. When I called my dad, hoping for some sense of fairness, he just shrugged. "You know how Matt is. He'd be devastated if we missed his party. Don't take it personally." Not personal. It felt like the most personal betrayal of my life. I was their daughter, the one who spent years begging for their attention, making excuses for every forgotten birthday, every missed milestone, telling myself that deep down, they loved me just as much. That night I didn't sleep. Instead, I replayed every memory. Every time I sat alone in the stands while Matt got the applause, the praise, the love. All those times I bit my tongue because Matt needs us right now. And now, here they were, proving beyond doubt that Matt's backyard barbecue meant more to them than watching their daughter walk down the aisle. In the days before the wedding, well-meaning friends and relatives kept asking, "Will your parents be there?" I dodged the questions with practiced smiles, too ashamed to admit the truth. I went through the motions, choosing flowers, tasting cakes, slipping into my wedding dress, but every moment was shadowed by their absence. Luke saw right through me. The night before the rehearsal dinner, he found me sobbing in the kitchen, my carefully applied mascara streaking down my face. "We don't need them to make this day beautiful," he whispered, holding me tight. "This is about us, our future, our family." And he was right. Our wedding day was everything I dreamed of. Golden light spilling through the trees, laughter echoing across the garden, my grandparents dabbing their eyes as I walked toward Luke. His family embraced me like I'd always been theirs. But when I took those steps alone, no father's arm to steady me, my heart split in two. Standing there, exchanging vows with a man who truly saw me, I had an epiphany. I wasn't that little girl anymore, desperate for scraps of approval. I was a woman stepping into a life where I set the terms. And in that moment something shifted inside me. Not rage, not even sadness, just ice-clear certainty. I didn't want drama, didn't want tearful confrontations. I wanted them to feel it, not just missing one day, missing everything. So I started planning, not with the frantic hope of my childhood, but with quiet precision. this time I held all the power. And when the time came, they'd realize exactly what they'd lost. After the wedding, I went radio silent. No calls, no photos, no strained small talk at family gatherings. For the first time, I stopped reaching for people who'd always kept me at arm's length. Months passed. Luke and I built a rhythm of our own. Sunday pancakes in bed, last-minute beach trips, afternoons curled together in the sunlit studio he'd helped me create. His parents treated me like the daughter they'd always wanted, their kindness both a balm and a bittersweet reminder. Then came the game changer. For nearly a year, Luke and I had been nurturing a secret dream, one we'd whispered about late at night, too afraid to jinx it by saying it aloud. We opened an art gallery. Not just any gallery, but a luminous space for overlooked artists like me, the ones who'd spent lifetimes being told they weren't quite enough. We scoured flea markets for vintage frames, stayed up until dawn painting walls the color of storm clouds, and hung each piece with the care of archaeologists handling priceless artifacts. The night before our grand opening, Luke hesitated by the invitation list. Should we? I took the pen from his hand and sent one single, elegant envelope. No call, no explanation, just a single cream-colored card, embossed in midnight blue ink. You are cordially invited to the grand opening of Second Light Gallery, Saturday at 5 p.m. No mention that I was the co-founder. No hint this was the culmination of every dream I'd ever swallowed down. I didn't expect them to come. Part of me prayed they wouldn't. But some instincts run too deep. When it came to Matt, they never missed an event that might polish their social standing. The gallery hummed with energy that evening. Critics sipped wine beneath the soft glow of pendant lights. Strangers paused before my paintings, vibrant, aching works that told the truth I'd spent a lifetime hiding. Luke raised his glass for a toast. This place began with someone who refused to believe she was second best. The crowd erupted, just as my parents appeared in the doorway. Time stuttered. My mother's hand flew to her throat as she took in the scene. The reporters, the gleaming plaque by the entrance. Emily Carter, founder and lead artist. They hovered like ghosts at a feast. Emily, my mother breathed when they reached me. We didn't know you could paint like this. My father's jaw worked. You should have told us. We'd have been where? I interrupted gently. At Matt's barbecue. The color drained from their faces. They spent the evening adrift in a sea of my making, watching as collectors debated my brushstrokes. As Luke's father proudly told anyone who'd listen, "That's my daughter-in-law." As the life they'd dismissed unfolded without them. Near closing, my mother caught my sleeve. "Let's have lunch next week. Just us." I considered her, really considered her, for the first time in years. The new lines around her eyes. The way her fingers trembled. "I'll check my calendar," I said, turning toward the crowd calling my name. But no promises. I'm building something here. The unspoken truth hung between us. They'd chosen hamburgers over their only daughter's wedding. Now they'd learn what it meant to be served leftovers. As the door closed behind them, Luke laced his fingers through mine. No words needed. The gallery walls whispered what I finally believed. You were always enough. They were the ones who missed out. And oh, what a view they'll have from the outside.